Yo, 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 what's going on, world? This is your boy Naji from Cigar Talk, and today I'm here with a very special guest, man. Seated to my left. Hey, listen, man, the fight is next week, man. I already just told him this is fight of the year, potential all over it. I got my man, Erickson Lubin.
What's up, brother?
What's up, my man?
Thanks for having me.
Nah, for sure. Listen, man, we here. We at, like, to me, this is a very big moment in your career, right? Like, you versus Vergil Ortiz. How do you prepare for this? Obviously, like, you know, physically training, but mentally as well. Like, how do you prepare for a moment like this?
I've been looking for challenges like this. You know, ever since I fought Ramos, I've been, you know, trying to get myself on get my hands on the belt. But you know, with Bakrham Murtazaliev, it was taking a little long for us to come to negotiations and where the fight would land and stuff like that. And then Golden Boy, you know, they were looking for an opponent, and they called my phone, and I jumped right on it because a fight like this is important. You know, they look at Vergil Ortiz as the #1 guy at 154 pounds. He just had 2 fights against Chuck and Majmov.
Yep.
And you know, Ring Magazine got him listed at #1. So I always want the top guys.
Do you look at him like that? I know you said that Ring and they look at him. Do you look at him like, all right, outside of yourself, this guy's the best guy in the division?
I feel like he still he had more to prove. You know, coming into a fight against myself, you know, I'm always confident. It's been a great training camp, and you know, I'm just looking to show that I'm the #1 guy at 154 pounds.
Now, how do you deal with, like, the naysayers or just people? Because right now, when I looked at the Vegas odds, they got you as the underdog. We see people kind of calling it out like they already making it like Vergil versus Boots is happening. That's kind of how the public and the media is making that. How does that make you feel when just, like, people are counting you out, whether it be Vegas or fans or whatever the case is?
It fuels me. It fuels me because I just know a lot of boxing been on some popularity shit. It's like a big popularity contest, and I see that, you know, they want that Vergil and Boots, and I watched the Boots fight against Lima, and they just putting it out there like they basically overlooking me. But I know Vergil. I know what type of fighter he is. I know he ain't overlooking me.
Yeah.
You know, I could see it in his eyes when we did the stare down the other day in Dallas, and you know, this is a fight where 2 fighters were highly skilled fighters, and we don't got to do too much talking. It's like the hands gonna do the talking. We got to be up here popping shit. We got to be naysaying and name calling, none of that. We're gonna fight and give the fans what they want.
Yeah, for sure. How do you, as, like, implementing your game plan, like, how do you stick to it? Because I've heard you say in other interviews where there's times, like, you know, for the Fondura fight where you was like, damn, I could have been boxing, but I was thinking I got to fight. You know what I'm saying? How do you kind of stick to the game plan, you know, being that this is such a big fight?
I mean, just going off of my experience, like the Fondura fight, going through that experience and regrouping and coming back from that, you know, just, you know, whatever the game plan is, I just got to follow it.
Yeah.
Stick to the game plan. You know, I'm ready, man.
Yeah.
I'm ready.
Now, all right, do you take, because you mentioned his fight with Chuck. I guess that was a fight. I actually thought Chuck won that fight, to be honest. Close fight. You know, I wasn't mad. I wasn't saying robbery. I thought Chuck won. But do you look at those fights, like, and kind of take and pull little things from it where I'm like, okay, I could do this, I could do that, or?
I mean, I take from every fight. I look at the fights with him, even the ones where he stopped guys, he made easy work of them. I looked at all the fights, and yeah, I take away a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
You know, even though their styles are different than mine, you know, I could mix it up. I know I could fight, I could bang, I could box, I could do whatever I have to do to win.
Yeah. Well, this is like this moment right here, because listen, this is one of those moments that this fight crosses you over to the next, like, you know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to say that to add pressure, but just me as the media and how I analyze the landscape, this is a moment where, like, you know, I know some of the other big fights in the past you've fallen short, but this is one that it'll catapult you to the next level. Do you feel like, does that come with added pressure knowing that?
Nah, if it is any pressure, it's good pressure. Because, you know, I've been in the game a very long time, and I've been at the high level for a very long time. You know, just my 3rd year, I fought for the world title against Charlo.
Yep.
And, you know, that was a lot of pressure. You know, people just counting on me to beat the man in the division during the time at just a young age, 21, 22 years old. And now I just feel like they're kind of putting that type of pressure on Vergil a little bit. You know, and I'm kind of like the vet in the game now. You know, I just turned 30 years old, but you know, he's not too far off. He's around that age, and you know, it's just two fighters in their primes going at it. It's a highly skilled matchup, and ain't no pressure for me. Ain't no pressure.
I feel like you've matured a lot since the Charlo moment and fight, right? Like obviously, like you said, you're 30, so naturally that comes with wisdom and experience and those things. But like for that fight for me, right? This is just me analyzing you as a fan, right? As a fight fan, where it was like, I think you was it 17-0, 18-0, something like that?
Yeah.
And you the man, you hit niggas with the squat and punch, like you going crazy. Everyone's talking about it, like it's a full thing. And then you get to the moment, I'm sure you envisioned the moment like I'm gonna do X, Y, and Z and blah, blah, blah. The moment didn't go how you wanted it. How did you deal with that part, right? Like having all the hype and then having that moment derailed, like how did you deal with that?
Before that, man, I felt unstoppable, honestly. Like, they'll put me in the ring against guys and, like you said, the squat knockout, all that type of shit. And I just felt unstoppable. I felt like it was destiny. I was like, no matter what I do wrong, I'm still gonna come out on top. You know, that's how I just felt. And then when it happened, it was like a big reality check for me. Like, nah, you gotta live the life. You gotta be, like, dedicated to your craft, because before I wasn't as dedicated as I am now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I was just, you know, taking fights on short notice sometimes and walking through those guys, and they probably training 10 weeks, 11 weeks, and I'm just in there, 4-week notice? All right, better do it. Make weight and go fight. And now it all changed for me. I'm more dialed in.
Yeah.
I'm obviously older now, and I just feel like a whole different fighter, because, like, you know, with the trainers I've been with, you know, they all taught me something. They all taught me something. Like, I got respect for all of them. Kevin Cunningham, Jason Galarza, Mark Foray, all those guys has taught me something. So I just take all the knowledge that they instilled in me and just, I take it to the ring with me, and plus the experience I already have.
Yeah.
So I feel like I'm a different fighter. I do what I gotta do to win.
When you said that you wasn't focused, I mean, what does that look like? Is it just like, is that, like you said, because you kind of said, like, I was a little cocky in the moment, like I could come in 4 weeks, but is that just like, you know, I'm the man, I got a little paper, so I'm slacking off in training? Like, what does not focused mean? Like,
nah, it ain't too much of that. I train hard regardless, but it was more like taking, like, 6 weeks for the Charlo fight. I only 6 weeks, trained 6 weeks for that, and was probably overweight 40 pounds, and just had to lose the weight and let's go fight. So, you know, obviously, you know, less fluid in the brain, just not prepared the right way.
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
That makes sense. I mean, you've worked your way back up, right? Like, since then, after the Charlo, cool, you working your way back up. A bunch of good victories. I remember Cuba, what's his name, Arias, beat a bunch of guys. What was that like? Like, did you have the chip on your shoulder after that, or did it like fuck with you? Because I've interviewed fighters that was like, after they took an L, it was like that shit kind of fucked with me for a little bit.
Man, that chip's still there, man. That chip's still there. It's like, I feel a little underachieved because, you know, I was just the biggest, hypest thing in boxing at one point, and then, you know, fast forward and people are just overlooking me, and you know, the chip it remains there because I still haven't became that world champion. I haven't collected that world title that I've dreamed of since I was a kid. So I keep that chip on my shoulder, and whenever it's time to fight, man, I give it my all.
Yeah. I mean, one thing no one could say about you, you don't avoid no fights, bro. You take all challenges. Yeah. And I don't know, listen, because this is me, and we're in the era, like you said, it's a popularity era. We got people kind of picking and choosing just to strategically look good, but it don't seem like you never did that. You always fighting the hardest fights. Yeah. Why is that? Is that like something you was just like, I don't want my guys to pick and choose for me? Like, because I see, like I said, some guys is like, yo, we just gonna pick fights that we could just look good.
Well, I know, I hear a lot of dudes talk about just, you know, being able to make the money. And for me, since I was a kid, like, I always been like a boxing geek, like a boxing nerd. Like, I know damn near everybody in the game. So, like, it's always been a legacy thing for me. Like, I've always wanted to be a legend in boxing and not just, you know, collect the money and get out of it. And, you know, just me being that person, I just always, like, I stuck to always thinking about being a legend. So I want to fight this person. Like, when I came in the game and I got signed, I told them I wanted to be world champion by the time the Olympics came up. I turned pro in 2013. That's a year after the last Olympics. I was like, I want to be world champion by 2016 if I'm not going to go to the Olympics. And, you know, they put me on that fast track.
Yeah.
I was like, and then when the Charlo fight came, I was just like, immediately, I was like, yeah, I want that fight. Yeah, let's take that fight. And, you know, live and you learn, I guess.
Would you change the route now? Obviously, you can't change shit. You can't go back. But I remember at the time, some people were saying, yo, it's too early, Lubin. Some people were saying that at the time. Like, yo, it's too early. Get a couple other fights. Would you do things differently if you could? Or it's like whatever, same thing?
Nah, same thing. Same thing. I'm here.
Yeah.
I'm still here. Out of all them dudes that I was coming up in the ranks with, and, you know, the Jared Hurds, the J-Rocks, and all those dudes,
That was
like,
a good era, too.
I'm still here, man. I'm still here.
Sure.
You know, I was young. I was the youngest out of that pack, and to look now is just, you know, there's a whole different pack, and I'm still one of the top guys out of the 54s today.
Yo, listen, man, you in one of the tough. I think 54 is the craziest division in boxing. To be honest, it's killers up there.
Yeah.
It's everything up there. When you looking at the landscape, does that motivate you? You get excited by that, like seeing that everybody's here now?
Hell yeah. I do get excited. I just feel like we all need to fight each other. I'm glad we was able to make this Vergil Ortiz fight happen, and I want to see more fights like it. You know.
I mean, obviously, one of the big fights that's happening, you versus Sebastian Fondura.
Yeah.
All-out war. That was crazy, nigga. That fight. Could you walk me through that? Because it's like, I feel like just me watching it, the times you were boxing, you were having a lot of success, right? He was spamming uppercuts on you. He looked, that's how I do it, undisputed. He was spamming uppercuts on you. You know what I'm saying? Doing that. And he knocked you down. You came back, I think that was seventh round. Seventh round. You knocked him down.
Yeah.
Can you walk me through that fight? Like, how was that the toughest fight of your career?
Yeah, for sure, it was. You know, dealing with that height, and then he has a high output. You know, he throws a lot of punches. For me, that fight, I felt like I had an easy first round. You go back and watch the tape, I had an easy first round. Felt like, you know, maybe my head wasn't in it too much. Like, I was dealing with a lot outside the ring before that. But after he dropped me in the second round, I was just like I blanked out real quick, and I was like, I gotta stop him. They looking at him like the next up and coming. Like, they want him to.
Oh, so he was going for the knockout.
I was at that point. I was like, I gotta stop him, or I'm not gonna get this decision. So yeah, in the seventh round, he was actually having a lot of success. That might have been one of his best rounds. He was, you know, landing that uppercut like you said, but my right hook deadly.
Sledge?
yeah. Boom, I hit him with a right hook, and I seen that he got to like my height. I'm like, whoa, is he? My eyes was fucked up. I'm over there swelled up and everything. I'm like, oh, hold up. Is he my height right now? Oh, he must be hurt. So I saw him like back up a little bit, like he retreated real quick. So I started letting him go. And I dropped him.
Yeah. So that fight, because obviously you became a meme, you were swelled up crazy. Like, I don't know if it was just punches or maybe an elbow or something. You had the hematoma there, like a lot of swelling. They was memeing you and everything. Did it look as bad as it, like, or did it feel as bad as it looked? Like, as fans, we was looking like, oh shit, because your face was real swollen. Or did you not even feel it, like you was just in it?
I ain't feel it. I was in it. My adrenaline was rushing, and then they took me to the hospital after that, and it was just a hairline fracture on my nose.
That's it?
Yeah, that was it.
But how was the recovery, like, crazy after that?
Nah, it wasn't too crazy. It probably took me like a month and a half, 2 months maybe, and you know, I just probably had like a little bruising after that. Just kept dealing with some bruising, and you know, after a while, it was good.
Now, how is that for you as a fighter to where, you know, they say coaches are there to save fighters from themselves, right? Like, obviously, Kevin Cunningham, I believe, was the trainer at that time, stopped the fight. Seemed like you wanted to keep fighting at that point. What is that like as a fighter to where, like, yo, I'm in this fight. I want to continue. He stops the fight. Like, where are you at mentally? You mad at him? Do you understand? Do you like what's that?
Well, I wanted to see the scorecards, and then when I found out I was winning, I was pretty upset. But you know, me and Kevin, we had our talk, and he was just, you know, telling me that he's looking out for me. He didn't know what was under the swelling. He didn't know if I was bleeding in my brain, maybe something in my eyes or something. So I respect it. I respect it. You know, it's a fight I definitely called for after, and you know, he obviously took a different route a few times, and you know, maybe one day we'll get it on again.
I was gonna ask you that. If you was to see him today, how would that be different?
It's a different day. It's a different fight. He's a great fighter. You know, he's obviously advanced his game a little bit too, because he's not just sitting there trying to brawl with everybody. He's starting to fight off the back foot a little bit.
Showed us Tim Tszyu, he could box, long range too.
Yeah, for sure. So we just, you know, we'll see. See if it happens.
Well, we got to run through the rest of the division and talk, because y'all got some names over there. Like you said, we started off, I call him B Murder. That's my boy right there. B Murder, Bakrham. That nigga, it looks like Drago, Iron Drago. What's it? Because what happened with that? Because they said originally he was online popping shit like, man, Lubin don't want to fight me.
That ain't him, man. That ain't him. I know that ain't him. Somebody tweeting for him, man. He be tweeting all crazy and shit.
Yeah, he was going crazy on you that time. I see that.
Yeah,
What's up? What happened with that though? The Bakrham fight.
I think he a strong dude. I think he a good fighter as well. You know, he the IBF champion for a reason. But the fight between me and him, they just couldn't come to negotiations. They just had me playing the waiting game. And prior to me fighting in May, I picked up a IBF eliminator fight. But prior to me fighting that fight right there, I was out the ring for probably almost 2 years. I didn't want to wait, just trying to figure out a fight against Bakrham.
Yeah.
You know, Vergil Ortiz and De La Hoya, them, Golden Boy, they came to me with this fight, and it was easy to make happen. So I'm like, hell yeah, let's do it.
Now, I knew, because when they were saying that, they was trying to say you were scared and ducking. I'm like, nah, Lubin don't duck no smoke. So I didn't believe that, because I'm like, it got to be something. But explain that for the fans, because, you know, a lot of people like to talk about the business shit now.
Yeah.
Like, when you're going through a negotiation and people say, like, yo, the negotiation failed, or, like, what is that? It's just you want a number and they can't get the number? Like, what is that, like, kind of look like?
It's like, you know, Bakrham, he's with Main Event, a whole nother promotion. They don't got no TV. So they're trying to land it on a different card, trying to land it on one of these PBC cards, because, you know, I'm with Pro Box and I'm with PBC. And, you know, they trying to come over to my side, and then they want the A side and all that type of shit. So it's just a whole bunch of negotiating. And with Vergil Ortiz, they just made one phone call and was like,
it was easy.
Want to fight? We got the numbers, we got this, we got that. Let's make it happen.
Was you cool with the numbers off rip, or you was like, nah, nigga, come with that bag? It was good off rip. They gave you the offer was good. Like, all right. Okay, big money. All right, so let's go through the next person in the division. The young boy just got his title, Xander Zayas. You know what I'm saying? Mr. Puerto Rico.
Protective custody.
That's what you call it, protective custody? You don't think he's stepping out? He beat the guy that beat what's his name?
Charles Conwell.
Charles Conwell, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you know, young fighter, very marketable. You know, got good boxing skill, and we're gonna see what he do in this division. You know, I want to see some of these dudes just not, you know, come up to this division, fight a halfway decent dude, and then call themselves the best in the division. You know, you gotta fight these dudes. You gotta fight the best. You know, there's guys that's been here, like myself. There's like you got Charlos of the world. You got Fonduras of the world. Like, those are we the guys that's been here in this weight class. This is our weight class. You know?
So it don't sound like you really believe in them like that, though. Because a lot of people saying that.
You gotta make me a believer, man. You gotta make me a believer.
Yeah.
I think he can fight. Yeah, he's a good fighter, but, you know, you gotta make me a believer. You gotta fight somebody that's gonna, I'm not gonna say challenge you or test you, because, you know, some people pass tests with flying colors, but you just gotta fight somebody.
Is that a fight you're interested in?
Yeah, as long as you got that belt.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. I don't even know the dude who vacated. He's in there. I don't even know that dude's name. I don't even know him.
Abbas Baruch or
Yeah,
something
is
like
he
that.
good? I don't even know him like that.
I ain't watched that fight against him and Taz. I just
Yeah, I don't know
saw the highlights on IG.
But you know who's the new nigga that they saying the boogeyman nigga?
Who? Be Murder?
Nah, not Be Murder. Oh, he's one of them. Boots. Jerron Boots Ennis. They saying niggas is scared
Who said
of
that?
Boots. A lot of people. The media, the fans, they like 54 scared of Boots.
Okay.
That's what niggas is saying right now.
Hey, that's what they saying. That's what they saying. That's not what I'm saying. That's not what a lot of fighters are saying. But you know, he came up to the division. He smoked that dude in one round. I give him props for that. But who's that dude? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I didn't know him.
Nobody really knew that dude. And I feel like you're gonna come up here popping that shit. You gotta fight somebody. You gotta fight one of the best dudes. And if you would've did that to somebody like a Charlo, like a Fondura, myself or somebody, like, then you could pop that shit, but you can't come up here, fight Lima, and then, you know, get to talking all crazy.
Do you feel like the hype is warranted? Because it's not just him. Like, yeah, you know, I feel like now he's kind of come out his shell and talking a little bit now because he hasn't historically been a talker. But there's just a lot of hype around his name from fans, from media, from everybody.
He's a great fighter. He's a tremendous fighter. He has great skill. I ain't taking nothing away from Boots. He's a great fighter. I just feel like he got to fight somebody. The same way I feel the same way about Xander. I feel the same way about a lot of these fighters. You know, not everybody, they're not taking that route I've took.
Yeah, that's true. Do you feel like is that a fight that you want now? Even though I know you said you're interested in belts. Boots don't got a belt, but it's like he got a name right now. Would you be interested in a fight with Boots?
I want that. I want them belts.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I'm ducking any smoke with Boots, but you know, if he pick up a belt, we can make it happen. You know, if they offer a big enough bag, then we can make it happen. But just to fight him on some voluntary shit, nah.
But do you think he's the guy that they saying? Like he's the one?
He could fight, man. Well, I ain't his promoter. Ask Eddie
Yeah,
Hearn.
I'm just saying.
Eddie Hearn gonna tell you that.
I want to know how fighters feel because I know how we feel as media, right? Like I talk to all the media guys, and it looks like the goods. Like you said, we got to see him fight somebody, and I see the fans. So I just wonder do the fighters also feel like that, or the fighters just
I think he's a good fighter. That's all I'll say. I think he's a good fighter. You know, there's some fighters that's gonna test you. He not gonna go in there against everybody at 154 pounds and knock him out in one round.
Yeah.
You know, he got a good draw against a dude like Lima. You know, even before him and Boots fought, I looked at Lima like, this dude is food.
Yeah, I seen that Aaron McKenna fight.
Food.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Yeah, no, that's true. Man, let's go back to the history a little bit, man, because you was one of them niggas in the amateurs, boy. You was like, I remember hearing your name in the amateurs. You was winning all the tournaments and all the stuff. And I feel like at the time it was kind of like, yo, Lubin's gonna go to the Olympics and win gold, and you never went to the Olympics. Why? Why didn't you go?
I felt like the situations in the amateurs was changing. You know, they took off the headgears. My living situation was fucked up. It was like, do I stick around? I don't know where I'm gonna be in these next 3-4 years. You know, just being who I was basically alone. I grew up damn near alone. You know, I had my parents, but still it was just on my own type shit. And then, you know, Mike Tyson, them people, they came with that bag.
They came with it? They came with it?
Yeah, at 17 years old. They schooled me when I was like 17 years old, straight out of the Olympic Training Center. So
Hold on, what's that bag? Come on. You can tell the numbers from back then now. I ain't asking your current bags.
Well, I mean, for a 17.
For a 17,
for a
yeah.
17-year-old,
Yeah, that's what I want to
you
know.
know,
Like,
good 6 figures. I'm like,
oh, those 6 joints?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah. I'm like, hell yeah.
That's a lot for,
You damn
for
right.
17. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so tell me that. Like, all right, how does that happen? Does Mike's people call you? Does Mike call you? How does that even happen?
I popped up in the gym one day. I was at the OTC, Olympic Training Center, and I think it was a sparring day or something. And they like, oh yeah, go say hi, because they had the little Cuban coach. Like, go say hi to those dudes. They got like Mike Tyson promotions, some new promotions starting up. And they telling everybody to go say hi to them. I thought it was just like what they do at the Olympic Training Center. They just had all the fighters going to visit promoters. And then they really came to see me. Like after shit, I was talking to one of the dudes. He was acting like he ain't know no English. He like, yeah, no English, no English. So I'm like, all right, cool. All right. So I ain't pay him no mind. And then they came back to me like, yo, because I was leaving the OTC probably that Monday. And they were like, no, I was even that weekend, and then they were like, yo, Monday they want to go, they want to talk to us. And when I pulled up to the office, nigga know full English.
That reminded me of Rush Hour.
Yeah. He like, what's up, man? You look good in sparring the other day, man.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, he's talking all that. So I'm
Right.
like, all right, they drew up a deal. I ended up staying out there in South Florida. I was just like, yeah, let's do it.
Hold on, what point did you meet Mike, though? You just signed with some random Spanish niggas
Nah,
and Mike ain't even in? Where's Mike
Mike
at?
coming in and out the gym.
Yeah, I'm like,
well, I
where-
knew Mike wasn't the dude that was doing all the paperwork,
Yeah.
but, you know, he was the dude that, like, the face of the company. It was his company, his brand, all
But
that.
when did you, like, meet Mike where y'all connected? Like, all right, you on my promotion, like... And,
As soon as I saw him, basically, like, he came in the gym a few times because he already had fighters in there.
Yeah.
And I met him a few times, and they were just, you know, already introducing me as one of their fighters. Like, yo, Mike, this is what I fight.
Right.
And then
What did he say to you?
giving me tips on the bag and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like, just little shit.
Yeah.
You know, Mike, he didn't say too much. And then when I signed with him, that's when we started traveling. We started going different places. Some of his fights that he, remember he was doing that little stand-up? It wasn't like the stand-up comedy
Yep.
thing, but the
It was
little...
like some Broadway type
yeah,
shit.
yeah. He was doing that. So every time he had a show doing one of those, I'll go to those and be around him for the ESPN dates that he had. You know, he put me on a few of them. My second and my third fight, not my first fight, but my third fight was on ESPN, a Mike Tyson show. And out of 29 fights, I probably had like 20 on TV. Yeah, on national television. So it would definitely put me out there.
So, all right, what point do you transition from, all right, I'm off the Mike Tyson stuff to the next point of your career? When does that happen?
I had a manager who was basically behind everything. Gary Jonas, he owns Pro Box.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so he basically moved us over. He moved the whole stable over because, you know, things between him and Mike Tyson's team just didn't align. You know, we just went a different route, and PBC was the hottest thing.
Yeah.
You know, I fought him on a few PBC cards when I was even with Mike Tyson, so.
Yeah. What point did you start to really feel like, all right, I'm that guy, right? Because like I said, it's in the amateurs, you had a lot of hype on your name. You coming in, you stopping damn near everybody, like, you know, your first couple fights. Did you already come in the game with that mentality, like I'm him, or was there a certain moment that it kind of, the switch flipped for you?
I mean, it took a while for me to for it to soak in, sink in, but you know, after every fight that I had was, you know, being broadcasted on national television and on some of the biggest cards. But after I did that little squat knockout to Jorge Cota, I was
Yeah,
like,
I remember that. That was crazy.
I was like, I felt unstoppable after that.
Yeah.
I ain't even know I did that shit.
What you mean?
I ain't know I did. I knew I did it. Like I
you ain't
went
prepared to do that.
I just did it because I usually do that in sparring. I just, you know, be playing around or I try to make somebody miss like that. And then I went back to the corner and my trainer was just like, yo, come on, get in your rhythm, man. Like, do that squat you be doing.
Oh, a nigga told you hit the squat.
Yeah, do that squat you be doing.
Yeah.
So then I went out the next round and I just did it, boom. And then followed up with the left hand and just knocked him out. I was like, damn.
Yeah.
And when I seen the videos, it went viral.
That was viral. Yeah, for sure. Damn. What would you say is the hardest part of your journey, right? Like, you know, you're doing all these things to become a world champion. Everybody's not privy to seeing the things that you do behind the scenes. What's the hardest part about trying to navigate the road to becoming a world champion?
I feel like it's the business side of it. You know, just I've been dealing with since the Charlo loss. Honestly, I feel like the Fondura fight wasn't even a title fight. It was the interim title fight, which is definitely prestigious, and that's what I'm fighting for right now. But it wasn't for a D title. You know, I was looking to fight Charlo again during the time. Fondura needed me more than I needed him. I was sitting at number 1 in the WBC, and he was the guy that was pretty much climbing the ladder still. So I just feel like the business side of things and them having me sit at number 1 for for a while, and then having to fight a final eliminator, then a final eliminator, and then going into another sanctioning body, having to fight after beating a guy like Ramos, who they were high on, having to fight another final eliminator here, and wait for negotiations between me and Bakrham, and you know, I just felt like I feel like that's the hardest part,
Like the
part about
politics
boxing.
of genre.
Yeah.
I meant to ask you about Ramos. How did you feel after the Ramos fight? Because some people, I seen that video too where they said y'all was in the back and everybody was celebrating, and Gary was the only one that wasn't really happy. I saw that. But how did you feel about the Ramos fight? I thought you won. I was there. I thought you won. Yeah. Some people didn't. A lot of people just favored the aggression. But how did you feel after that fight?
That night, I mean, shit, I didn't really care because it was just all about the win for me. Like, just secure the win. You know, it was my birthday that night too. And after, you know, looking back and seeing people's comments, you know, all the boxers was like, nah, Lubin won that fight. But, you know, the fans and the casual fans, they all just, you know, they coming out saying that Ramos was robbed. They still got shit to say about that. But, you know, even Ramos was in the ring, like, shaking his head. Like, he was lumped up. He was like, yeah, he won. Yeah. Because, I mean, he was in there. So you got to, come on now.
Right.
I did what I had to do. I boxed him real well. I gave him a lesson. Yeah. You know, and I wasn't even feeling my best. You know, I wasn't feeling my best. I was feeling a little messed up with the weight cut, messed up with just a lot of things, you know. But I got the win how I wanted to.
Yeah. Tell me, as far as what advice can you give the young fighters coming up? There's a lot of young fighters that DM me and hit me. They watch the show, try to pick up some game from established guys like yourself. What advice can you give some of the young fighters coming up that want to, you know, become a world champion?
If they want to become a world champion, just pretty much just staying focused, man. Like, you know, not letting any outside noise try to throw you off your game. You know, just pretty much sticking to your guns and staying dedicated to the sport. You know, Floyd gave us the blueprint, basically. You know, just how much of a workhorse he was, and you know, I say stick around your weight class. Don't blow up too heavy. Yeah, those are the main important things as just be a professional. Yeah. Be a professional.
Now, Lubin, I feel like you mentioned Floyd, you had your pretty boy Floyd era because you fought everybody. Nigga, if you win against Vergil, I want to see some Money Mayweather shit. I want to see you coming out talking crazy something, you know what I'm saying? We need to see that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right, let's get into some boxing talk real quick before we end up. Big fight, November 22nd. Let's start off with this one. It's the co-main, but everybody's talking about it. Devin Haney versus Brian Norman Jr.
Yeah.
How do you see that fight?
I respect Haney, man. I respect Haney because, you know, he's coming up from 140, and he went straight to the champion, that guy in the division. You know, he ain't doing what, you know, y'all boogeyman at 154 just did, you know.
Yeah.
You know, he going up to fight a guy like Brian Norman, and I give him tons of respect for that. I think Brian Norman's a great puncher. He got great power, and I think it's going to be one hell of a fight. We in for one.
If you had to pick one, who you going with?
If I had to pick one?
Yeah. Like, yo, I'm going to make a bet. I just gave you 10 racks. You got to throw it on somebody. Who you going to throw it on?
I'm putting that shit in my pocket.
This nigga gonna rob me now. That was not the scenario, a little bit. Damn.
Nah, because they both my guys. You know, I've known Haney a lot longer. I think Haney's a great boxer.
You knew him from the amateurs, right?
Yeah, I know him from the amateurs. Brian Norman, you know, tons of respect. You know, my brother over here used to fight on the same cards as his father.
Oh, the Pops? Oh, yeah.
His dad and shit.
I seen his dad fight Greg Hackett. You know who that is?
Yeah.
Yeah, I seen that. That was crazy. That was a wash kind of fight. All right, so what about David Benavidez, Anthony Yarde? Like, what you think?
Benavidez. I got Benavidez.
What you think about Benavidez just in general? Like,
I think he a savage. He's a savage. He's a great fighter. He got great height to him. 175, he's gonna make his mark at 175.
Yeah.
I want to see him against guys like, he said he used to spar Bivol a lot.
Yeah.
He said he think he could stop him.
Yeah, he said he heard him in sparring before.
Yeah, that's tough. So, and Bivol was one of my favorite fighters of today.
Yeah, me too. Okay.
So,
all right. What about the young Abdullah though?
Yeah.
That's my boy, young
boy,
Abdullah Mason. He's fighting Sam Noakes, who I watched all the UK fights. That boy hits hard. Sam Noakes cracking. Sam Noakes is cracking. So
they fighting for a title, right?
yeah, for the WBO. So
Okay.
What you think about Abdullah Mason though?
He about to be world champion.
Yeah.
I think he about to be world champion.
You like his game though, right?
Yeah. He can mix it up. I seen a video when after he got dropped. With Shakur talking about how the first round could be dangerous and stuff like that, and I think Abdullah definitely learned from that experience, and it's only gonna make him better.
Yeah.
Because I remember the first time I got dropped. The first time I was going against a veteran dude. I probably only had like 6 fights, and at that point it's like I think I'm gonna stop everybody. I'm going in there and just going straight for it, and I learned the hard way. I had to get up.
What is that like? Like getting dropped? Like what is like you? Was it more like fuck, or was it?
It was like, whoa, what the fuck?
Oh, like damn,
what the
shit,
fuck?
man.
Like I'm just on the ground, like you don't feel it. You
Right.
really don't feel it.
Like you just come to consciousness, and you're like, oh shit.
Yeah, like oh shit, I'm on the ground. Like hold on, it was embarrassing.
Yeah.
And people looking at me as the next big thing. I'm only like 6-0. I ended up breaking his jaw though.
Damn. Hell of a get back. Okay. All right, we got to ask you this one. Terrence Crawford, you know what I'm saying? Obviously, he just came off the Canelo win. 40-54, 68. No one knows what he's going to do next, whatever the case is. Do you look at him as an all-time great? Like he's one of the greatest guys to do it?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. For him to go up and fight Canelo, going up a few weight classes, and Canelo, they got him basically as the guy in boxing, like the #1 guy in boxing, and Crawford got that mindset, like, he's one of the greats in my opinion.
Yeah. If you happen
and the
to
boxing skills show.
If you happen to get that call though, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, say if you
course.
beat Vergil, they like, Lubin, what's up? It's automatic?
Got to, automatically.
Yeah. Okay, well listen, man, I'm definitely excited. November 8th, it's going down. This is that one, man.
Tune the fuck in,
What can we expect, bro? Give me a little something. Like, what can we really expect? Like, I know obviously we got to see, but like, when you envision it in your mind, how does it play out in your head?
W, straight up W.
Yeah.
Like I'm gonna go in there and I'm, where everybody talking down on me and just looking ahead to him fighting Boots. That just added so much fuel to my fire. I got away from home. I came out here to Vegas to just isolate and go straight to work. And, you can ask the people that's in my camp. They know what I'm capable of. And the people that's been around me, they know what I'm capable of. And I just feel like this is my weight class. I've been pro for 12 years, and I've been at the elite level for almost 10 years. I fought Charlo in just my 3rd year, so I feel like my time is now. I think, the better the story, the better the glory, and it's gonna be big November 8th. I'm going to his backyard, I'm going to their network, their promotion, and fearing me. That's the type of shit that I like, to beat somebody and their playing field, their whole playing ground.
It's gonna be. Listen, I said this on Twitter. People was like, "Oh, you just saying," and I'm not just telling you this because you was here. If I thought flat out you was gonna just lose, I would say that. But I told people that you can't just discount it like it's an automatic Vergil win. I don't think that. I don't think that. So
yeah, I think a lot of people think that as well. Don't get me wrong, he's a great fighter. Like I said, I thought he was gonna lose that Madrimov fight, and he went in there and he did his thing. He showed more than what I thought he had. But we prepared for all of it. It's gonna be a great fight. Everybody tune in.
For sure. Listen, my man Erickson Lubin, I appreciate you sitting down. Dope episode of Cigar Talk. We out of here.